on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
All righty, let's get it on. Getting ready for the season to come up live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho, brought to you by The Sportscast. Today is June 12th, 2025. Tomorrow's going to be Friday 13th, Byron. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to The Sportscast on all our channels. If you are on we are on all your favorite podcast streaming channels. Just look up the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. You can hear us on the road. You can hear any past episodes. Please leave us a review and rating. We'd help us out tremendously. And subscribe. You like what you hear today? Subscribe. Smash the like button to Jersey Boys Sports Talk. YouTube, bang, and let's get it going. We are streaming live every week on Facebook and on YouTube and on your favorite streaming podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Let's get it on, Mr. Byron. How you doing today?
Oh, wonderful with all this New Jersey, Pennsylvania heat. It's hot. It's hot up here.
Now it's hot?
Oh, it's hot. Like almost 100 degrees.
A week ago, it wasn't hot.
Nah, it's cooking. Now, last week, we had to cancel flag football practice for the kids because it's too hot for them to be. Yeah, we cancel because it's too hot out there.
Oh man, they the same kids that get all kinds of trophies and stuff. Is that what?
Yeah. Well, we just started tackle football on Tuesday, so we ain't trying to kill them. But yeah, it was a little moist out there, a little hot.
Tackle. Oh my God, I don't remember them ever doing that to us.
What, tackle football?
Ever. They never stopped. We're lucky we messed up. We wouldn't even get water.
Yeah. We had some interesting coaches back in the day, man. Some of the things they used to do.
You can't
man,
get away with the stuff they get. Nah, man. Remember Billy Urbanski? You know Billy Urbanski, right?
Yeah.
He was a phenomenal baseball player. His whole family, beautiful family. Cindy, Patty. I graduated with Patty. His dad their whole family was awesome. But he's my coach, man. He would chew tobacco as a baseball coach, and he had no problems. Brand new spike. He spit that tobacco on my.
Uh-oh. We are experiencing technical difficulties at this time. Please stand by.
I got kicked out. Did you hear what I said last, Byron?
Now you disappear.
I said he would chew tobacco and spit on my spikes. He did that today, boy. We'd be in a lawsuit. Capraro used to grab my face mask and run there. Oh my God, it was crazy. All right, well let's get it on. We got some good stuff going on. We have one of our favorite guest hosts and fellow podcaster joining us now. Let's bring him to the show, Mr. Joey Toscano from the Donut Bag. Joey and big Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Guy. How you doing, Joe? Joey, you there? Joe, you're on air. Can you hear me, Byron?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Joe, you're on air.
Can you hear me?
You can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Now we can.
Joe, can you hear us? Uh-oh, something's wrong with his thing. All right, Joe, you work on that. We're going to keep going. Mr. Byron Jones, so Joey can get his piece going. Let's get it on. So you said it's really hot out there, no? All right,
really
we got some good stuff coming out. All righty, let's go to top headlines right now. What is going on with this receiver situation? Malik Nabers still not practicing fully for the Giants due to a toe injury. Man, we cannot afford for him to be hurt this year. So when did that happen? That happened through OTAs? What's going on there?
No, it's just something from toward the end of last year. Something that happened. With his toe, and it just been just taking their time with him. They don't have to throw him out there. They already know what he can do. So why go out there and risk anything? With your franchise wide receiver. So keep
Okay.
him out as long as he needs to be out.
Hey, it looks, man, that guy I am happy with.
And we have some Jalen Hyatt news too. Uh,
Who?
Jalen Hyatt, our speed receiver, the one that disappeared the
Okay.
last 2 years. They
Yeah.
said that he's put on 15 to 20 pounds, like bigger than what because he was thin. He's
The
like six,
receiver, but he was fast. Did he keep his speed?
probably. But they're saying that Russell Wilson has loved throwing the deep ball. Because Russell could throw the deep ball. He's good at that.
He
And now
likes
that
those balloon bombs.
he's throwing them to this kid, and now he's showing him why he won the top wide receiver award coming out of college. And the last couple of years with
I
us,
don't even remember this guy.
yeah, the last couple of years, yeah, he's kind of like, yeah, he was in the doghouse, complaining, he wasn't getting enough playing time, 10, 15 catches, last year, whatever. But he's gonna have a rebirth.
Said he's a speed receiver, right?
Probably the fastest receiver.
All right. Let's bring Joey back to the stage. One of our favorite guests, hosts, and sometimes he fills in for me. And he's got his own show from the Donut Bag, Mr. Joey Toscano. Can you hear us now, buddy?
Hello.
Hey, all right. Sorry, I had my technical difficulties, and so did you. Welcome to the show, Jersey Boy Sports Talk. So we were talking about Malik Nabers and his toe, and then Byron was talking about our other receiver that we've had for 3 years that really hasn't done much. Speed receiver, but he's put on some weight. Did he keep his speed?
Hopefully he does. But most likely, they know how to work. When they go to the trainer, they're going to work where, they're going to add muscle, still keep the same speed. So he'll be fine. And then they said that Wandell Robinson, likes the way Russell Wilson, throws the ball. It's a good ball to catch. He throws a catchable ball.
Well, first of all, are we allowed to mention that name on this show for you, Joey?
No, that's fine.
Well, because you know how Ryan is with Saquon. Like Byron will still won't. Byron still won't mention his name. He called him 26. He's a baby. He's a baby for 2 years. Byron will not mention it. And when he does, he slips. He gets all mad.
If Russell Wilson has a Saquon-like year, then yeah, I'll be mad. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. No, it ended well with the Steelers. He was good.
Yeah, I think so. So all right, so he's being happy. He bought Byron, I'm gonna look that up. So Russell Wilson bought all the 14 offensive linemen customized golf carts.
Who? Russell
Did you say was it Russell Wilson?
No, that was Jalen. Jalen Hurts and
Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts did it. Oh, sorry. Customized golf carts. Spent $2,200 a piece.
Hey, something better than that. It's a thoughtful gift.
I'm just saying, I guess, it's kind of.
Okay. You don't think that's a thoughtful gift, man? That anybody, well, not anybody, but any of them can go out and say, "Oh, here, let me buy you a Louis Vuitton bag, Rolex watch, and whatever else." And some of them do that. Or I think one of the ones I sent with like Joe Burrow bought his guys like the Japanese swords, like the ancient or whatever they were swords he bought for. It's a thoughtful gift. I think I would have liked it. It's personal.
I'm okay with it. I think the gesture's nice. I think any gift that you get is nice. Don't get me wrong. But we had our conversation started how quarterbacks, have bought in Rolexes and stuff for their linemen, and Rolex is more than $2,200. That's all. And the money that these quarterbacks are making is 3 times what the other quarterbacks were making. I mean, Brady didn't make that money. You were mentioning that you said it was only Tom Mahomes. No, it's not. Brady gifted his offensive money, luxury items throughout his entire career. Audi Q7s, SUVs, UGG boots, Rolex watches. He's even giving them gifts like Canada Goose jackets, iPads, and even the Super Bowl MVP truck
Okay,
he's giving away. So
here, I'm gonna be a hater right now.
why you gotta be a hater?
Because it's just me. Do you really think that he went in his pocket and bought all that stuff? Do you really think
Whose pocket do you think went into?
Sponsors? You don't think sponsors?
No.
No
man,
way.
come on, man.
No
come on, man.
way.
I'm gonna be a hater. That's why I'm being a hater.
No way. Until you can prove that,
It's out of his pocket.
It was out of his pocket. That would have came out.
Way.
Everybody was wanting to find something bad on Brady. That would have leaked out.
That's why I'm being.
Now he made a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's still peanuts, small percentage compared to what he made, but it's still he's making half of what Jalen Hurts made. I mean, what Brady make? 25 million. Hurts is making 50-something million. 25 million in 1 year, big difference.
Well, let's clean it up a little bit. It was Jalen Hurts and number 26 combined and bought the.
It was even worse. It was $1,100 a piece. Dude, I spend that on a dinner.
Oh, big spender. Oh,
I'm just saying, dinner down here is, $400, $500, $600. It's for 4 people. If you go out with another couple, it's $1,000.
I guess I won't be going out with the other couple then.
Anyhow, hey, I think it's a good gesture. Now, you made the plan. It was only Pat Mahomes the ones that did it. No, Brady's done it. A lot of the guys. That's how I know it. Roethlisberger's done it. A lot of these guys have done something. I think it's pretty cool because they get to enjoy it and they remember their quarterback when they're in it. Just ain't nothing like a Rolex.
I'm gonna still be a hater though. I still think he had.
All right. Well, let's hope that these guys don't get hurt on the terrible MetLife field. All right, let's go. All righty.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let's talk about the field. They changed the field over for the soccer.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So I want to ask that question. Okay. If you want to go into that, let's get into that right now. Hold on. Oh man. See, you made me move something down, man.
I didn't make you do anything.
Yes, you did.
You just moved too fast. Slow down.
Okay, here we go. All right. Grass field, MetLife Stadium for the Club World Cup. Okay. I heard that first of all, soccer, the like Messi and all these majors, the guys, the big stars, they will not play unless it's real grass. Messi will not play. I don't care where he goes. Don't matter how he pays. He's in his contract. If it ain't real grass, I'm not playing. So my question is, I also heard that they're going to put it on top, and then they're going to put the field back the way it was. I thought that's what we talked about a couple shows ago.
Yep.
Do you think that's going to happen, or are they going to leave it? No, Joe? Go ahead, Joey. What do you got?
They're going to put it back. It would be lovely if they would use real grass in there. And the MetLife turf is notorious for causing injuries. I think it's considered one of the worst fields, one of the worst things in football. But if it was that easy, they would have done it already. So there's a reason why this is just a temporary thing. I don't know why.
It's because of the World Cup. They're doing it for the World Cup.
Well, I know they're doing it for the World Cup, but why aren't they doing it permanently? I think they're not doing it permanently.
Well, at least do something different. Do something where someone else has turf and no one's getting hurt at the same level. Because we're getting our players hurt, visiting players are getting hurt. I don't understand how Goodell doesn't see it's costing teams millions of dollars by allowing a franchise. Actually, 2 franchises, because there's a lot of games. It's 2 teams play there, so it's what is it? That's 17. That's at least 17 games.
Aren't there more teams that actually play there too?
Well, football teams, the NFL teams.
I know, but I think other teams use that. Do college teams use that or something like that? I think that's one of the reasons.
From now on, from once in a while, the college teams use
like college, and every now and then the high school team to play there.
Predominantly, it's the NFL. Right? It's an NFL stadium. It's not, but it's not. But 17 games are going to be played there, right? And they need to do something. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I want to go to the World Cup. But I want to go to the World Cup outside of this country. Yeah, I want to go to like Spain. I want to go to another place and go to. Well, Spain doesn't want tourists now. So anyhow, that's interesting. So you think they're going to change? I hear they're just going to be putting the real grass on top or something.
Yeah, but most of the injuries our knuckleheads, and I might as well say knuckleheads have, are on the practice field. They have a lot of soft, like the hamstrings and ankles and stuff, and most of that stuff is on the practice. On the
But
practice field.
why is it our field, MetLife Field, is the only field that when guys get up, there's black dots on their face?
I don't know. Yeah,
You saw that? It looked like Daniel Jones had freckles, black freckles.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got to do something there. I just hate seeing players get hurt. Your football, you're going to get hurt. But if it's caused by what you're playing on, I mean, I think you should do something. That's all.
Yeah, but what is easier? Well, I know the answer, but what is easier to maintain, the field that they have now or the grass?
It's the field that they have now. But all I'm asking, and from my perspective, there's other teams that have turf, and no one's getting hurt at the same rate as MetLife. At least not that I understand. So why don't they just use the turf that someone else is using?
What does Pittsburgh have, Joey?
So what Pittsburgh does is they have natural, and they have two teams that play on their Steelers and University of Pittsburgh. And what they do is in October, November, or something like that, they actually replace the entire field because it gets so worn down. But it's natural grass all the time.
Good Lord, the Giants are just cheap. That's what it is.
It's exactly it.
Bro, again, how do you sit at that Rooney Mara table for Thanksgiving and not make fun of your family? Like, I mean, I would be just throwing darts at them the whole time. Like, you guys are just idiots. You're cheap. You're ruining an organization. I don't even want my name attached to you guys. No, you're not dating my daughter. I mean, I would love to be at that Thanksgiving table.
And this Thanksgiving,
be a Rooney. I want to be a Rooney.
Rooney's going to say, "Hey, how's Russell Wilson doing?"
I mean, you guys are even swapping players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like inside stuff. So I don't know. Anyhow, that's so big important. Let's get going. All right. So, hey, Ronnie Barnes is inducted to New York Ring of Honor. What do you think about that, Byron?
He's been there since 1976. He's like what is it, 40, 50 years that he's been, athletic trainer with them. And now I think, what is it, like the senior vice, whatever it is, a position that he is now. But he's done a good job. But I can't imagine anybody being there since 1976.
He's 73 years old.
No, he's not that old. No way.
He's 73
He is
years
73.
old. I'm looking him up right now. He's
born in
1952. He
1952.
looks good for 73, though. Hold on. Let me show you.
Wow.
That brother looks good for 73. I got hope.
Black don't crack.
Oh, man. There was a comedian on that said something around that the other day. I was cracking up. Oh, hold on a second. Present here. Screen share. Screen. Allow. Ronnie Barnes. Bang. Can you see it?
No. Now it's coming. Hey, he's that old?
Yeah,
No,
he's that
no
old.
way.
And look how good he looks.
Damn. Wow.
That dude looks good for 73 years old.
He don't look 70. He doesn't look nowhere near.
He doesn't look
73.
73. He looks like he's in shape. That's a nice giant jacket. I want to call him up and say congratulations. Can you give me that jacket? Then he owns me.
You get one online, $69.99.
For the same one? Well, it's cheaper than dinner. Look at him. I don't know how old the picture is, but he looks good, man.
I can't believe he's
God bless
73
him.
years old. Wow.
Huh?
I guess that
70?
explains him being around since 1976.
Delivers commencement speech at East Giants Medical Services. Okay, great. He's been around since when?
He went to East Carolina University.
East Carolina University. Okay.
Yep.
Stop screen share. All right. Anyhow, congratulations to Ronnie Barnes in the Hall of Fame, in the Ring of Honor, the Giants. 73. That means he's been there forever. Why didn't they do it when he was 70? Why didn't they do it when he was 60? Like, why? Why wait till you're 73?
Because they're the New York Football Giants. That's how they do.
They had to have. You know what? They were looking for something good, so they're finding. All right, let's go. Let's keep moving along. Okay. Wait, there was some other stuff. Cam Jordan. Okay. So what's going on up there, Byron? What are you hearing on the news? Give me some of the latest on the Giants and the NFC East before we move on to your buddy.
Well, the Giants are like toward the last phase of the OTAs. Remember last week we talked about as far as them getting Abdul Carter, Burns, and Thibodeau all on the same, and they
At the same time,
and they got like they showed one of the plays where all three of them met the quarterback at the same time. They got back there that fast.
wow.
And yeah, he's been impressive. They're saying that like a lot of the cornerbacks are doing a great job, as far as contesting everything and doing a good job with that. Russell Wilson is throwing the ball deep. They're focusing on getting the ball down the field. So that should be a big difference than what we've been through the last 3, 4, 5 years, where somebody is capable of throwing the ball down the field. It looks like Scatterbo, the running back we have, and Tracy are going to be a good combination together. So things are working out. Toward the end, get ready to wrap it up, and training camp starts in July.
So hence the optimistic Giants fan.
Yes.
All right.
Wait a minute. And Evan Neal picked up a block. They got him at guard, and I saw a picture where he picked up a block. Everybody else missed, but he picked up with it. And I'm talking about that's my guy. That's my guy, Evan Neal. Evan Neal, man, is going to take that guy's job, man. He's going to be the starter at left guard.
Now I'm going to be a hater. What? Bang! Saquon Barkley's top year end of the top player sales list, unseating Patrick Mahomes and the league's retail king as the league's retail king. Bang! That one was especially for you, Byron.
Why? What have I done to you?
You done anything to me? Just sound like you hated on Barkley, man. You got to give the love so you get love back.
I've only been nice.
You are. You're the nicest, biggest man I know.
I'm so nice, man. You're gonna do this. It's like you drank Haterade before you got on.
Right. That is, first of all, you're the biggest, nicest, biggest guy I know. But that's not true. You're not always nice to me. You go against me, and whatever I pick, you go opposite.
I'm supposed to. That's what I'm supposed to do. My eyes are burning because I saw his name. Thank you very much. My eyes are on fire, man. Come on.
So what are you gonna do when Madden comes out?
I'm not gonna.
It's gonna be all over the place. Like you can't not see it, and you live in Pennsylvania. It's impossible for you not to see it.
I'm gonna cover my eyes. I'll be all right.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Well, we got that one for you. All right, let's get going. So, how's there anything else? Anything happening with the Commanders? I see Dallas is getting a little excited because Dak is back. We'll see what goes on there. I'm sure they haven't do Micah Parsons' deal yet. Hasn't been done. I don't understand those guys, but it's going to be an interesting season for the NFC East, right? Because if our defense is teeing up. Once that happens, the NFC East beats up each other, right? So nobody's won it back to back, and I know you still think the Eagles going to do it. I picked Washington, but we'll see what happens.
I picked
Philly. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
Well, you want to change it? You can change it. Who you want to pick? Who you think is winning the NFC East?
New York Giants. I'm being optimistic right now.
Wow.
Listen, if that happens, I'll be happy camper. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but I will tell you right now, that's a hard pill to swallow, man. I mean, I want to see them get better. That's why I want to see good football, right? I want to see good Giant football. I want to be proud of this team again. Right, I still wear my colors. I tell everybody I'm a Giant fan, and what's sad is they go, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit.
I hate that. Normally I do to everybody else. I hate when this goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I can't even make fun of their teams. So anyhow, so you're going with the Giants. You heard that, Joey. Santiago, it is 8:30 something, so we can bring back the steak. Because Byron loves denying that crap later on.
I'm telling you what, there's something there. Russell Wilson could be good.
Yeah, I thought he did well. But he needs his defense too, and he needs the right receivers. He doesn't have a problem with the guy. Did you have Pickens last time when you got rid of him? I like Russell Wilson. You guys know that. I really like Russell Wilson. So hold on, let me check in the comments here. I like Russell Wilson, number one. Number two, you're gonna hear some other stuff coming up, but I just think that right now on paper, the best team is the Eagles, right? Okay, but I just think there's a lot. I think Quinn is a good coach, right? He's the coach of Commanders, and I just think Jaden's gonna get a second year under his belt. He was hurt. Right, Byron? He was hurt some of the year last year. They had some couple wins that they shouldn't have won, but look, that's what good teams do. They win, things fall into their place. I think that kid is good, and I think the defensive line is good. They're young. I think they're going to be tough. Just the fact that no one's won it back to back, and I just think there's always something happening in the Eagles locker room. The only thing they got going for them is Saquon in there, cooling the pieces, but there just seems something not right inside that locker room. Go ahead, Joe.
And there's something to be said for Super Bowl hangover. Once you win the Super Bowl, the next year you kind of fall off a little bit because you won it. So it's like, okay, we already got ours. Maybe we're just gonna take it a little bit easier. Not consciously, but just subconsciously. It just seems to happen.
Yeah, that's one. And the other way, Byron, can you move your camera down a little bit? Because optimist Giants fans taking up half your face. There you go. There we can see that big, beautiful smile of yours. Yeah, and then you could also say that now the monkey's off their back and they may play more relaxed, right? So it can go either way, right? And Barkley's a baller. He's not going to stop. He's training all the time. He's going to be good. They got a good team. I mean, I'm picking the Commanders, and we'll go from there. And Giant, you're picking the Giants. Who do you think is going to win the NFC East, Joey?
Come on, Joey.
No, I'm going to go crazy and say Dallas.
Oh, but don't say, not on this show. Get off the shit. I'm going to put you back in the green room. Throw him in the green room. Throw in the bathroom.
Let me tell you something.
Joey, go to the bathroom. You're Italian, aren't you? Remember this?
I am Italian.
The Bronx, throw him in the bathroom. Throw him in the bathroom.
What? Oh, you were gonna throw me in the green room for saying Abdul Carter is the next Lawrence Taylor. I remember that.
I didn't say that. That was Joe Capraro. And then someone tried to mention that. Me and Byron cut him off. Remember, Byron? Like someone was going to say something like that. We said, stop right there. Last time someone said it, it ruined us.
Let me tell you something. The Commanders, I'm telling you right now, the Commanders are going to not be good.
What?
They got too good last year. Went too high. They're going to go down.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels is going to have a sophomore slump. They're gonna have hard times. So it's not going to be the Commanders. The Eagles are going to have their Super Bowl hangover. The Giants are going to be better, but Dallas, I'm telling you, there's something there. If Dak stays healthy and they got George Pickens, they have a really good offense, and Micah Parsons is going to want to play well to get paid. I think they might actually
get paid before the season starts, right, Byron?
Hopefully, but you never know with Jerry Jones.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joey.
I'm telling you, I think there's something there with the Cowboys.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you slide, Joey, because we like you, but don't ever pick Dallas again on this show. Don't do it. I'll throw you in the green room real fast. Don't ever pick Dallas on this show, unless we all agree, and that would be really hard.
You'll see.
Really hard. I look, but God forbid that happens. They're just going to be Pittsburgh with one win or one and done. I mean,
they're not going to win.
No, that's not true. Pittsburgh wants one win, right? Which we'll get to that in a little bit. And I'm not a Pittsburgh hater. I'm just saying, we don't want that, but it doesn't matter because I guarantee you there's going to be at least two teams from the NFC East in the playoffs.
It's a tough division,
right now, if not three. Okay.
New York
We had
football.
we had almost 4 one time.
So that worked out.
Yeah, well, it didn't. But anyhow, we'll go from there. All right, man, I can't see anything. All right, Joe, we're gonna get into it. Let me make sure I get all the other pieces out of the Giants. Anything else happening in the NFC East over down there, Byron? Since you're over there, I gotta start reading the post a little bit more.
Nah, all good up in the hood.
All good in the hood. All righty. So look, let's get into here. Here we go. All right, Aaron Rodgers. It really is a Steeler now. Signs a 1 year for only $13 million. That's impressive. Okay.
Discount.
That's a major disc because he's not getting paid from the Jets. It's not like he's not doing the Russell Wilson piece, right? So, Joey, I'm gonna let you go first. How's it going over there? Because it is big difference between people like myself and the outside world, outside of Pennsylvania, and Pittsburgh, of how we feel about Tomlin and the Steelers, as opposed to being a true, terrible towel Steeler fan over there. What is the sentiment with Rodgers coming? What's the sentiment with the playoff situation? The sentiment. I mean, we got a lot of issues that they're not issues. We got a lot of topics we could talk about with Pittsburgh. What are your thoughts right now?
We got a lot of issues, but the main sentiment in Pittsburgh with Steelers fans is they are fed up. They're fed up with going either 9-8 or 10-7 every year and barely squeaking into the playoffs. And then when they get in the playoffs, they get blown out in the first round, and it's not even close. It happens every year, and we're tired of it. We're tired of it, and that's what this Aaron Rodgers move is. The Steelers are tired of it too. They're it's like being on a treadmill. You are not moving anywhere. You're just stuck in place.
So
you're not going backwards. You're not going forwards.
So what is okay? So I understand that. What's the Aaron Rodgers sentiment?
The first choice was Justin Fields, to keep Justin Fields, but they thought they were going to keep him on the cheap. But then the Jets came in and offered him more money in a guaranteed starting position. So understandably, Justin Fields, and they didn't think that highly of him, so they let him go to the Jets. But then they didn't really have a plan B, so that's why it was just the only dance partner that was left. For some reason, it just did not go well with Russell Wilson, that they didn't even think about him. So the only option was Aaron Rodgers, and it took months. It took like 3 months to come to this point, but the Steelers organization was confident that he was going to sign. Everyone else was like, hey, what the heck is going on here? But Aaron Rodgers signed last week, and he showed up at minicamp this week, and so far everything is wonderful. So
let me and then Byron, I'll go to you. Let me tell you what I had said to, I think last week or the week before, I'm not sure, with Byron on the show. You know how I feel about Tomlin. And, so I personally think the same thing I told you about Russell Wilson. They had a deal. It's your job to lose. Once he's ready, you're coming in. Doesn't matter what Justin, unless Justin Fields was undefeated. He still was 4-2. He did a good job. But I said it. He's going to come in and he's going to play. Tomlin's a man of his word. Now, I think Tomlin should have made some at least try Justin Fields as you guys were tanking those last 5 games. I think Justin Fields should have got a shot at that point. Right now, dude, you're going in the same thing. So 1 second, real good. And then my point with Aaron Rodgers, it's just my opinion. I don't know this. I don't have insight. I don't have a direct line to Tomlin. I just think that knowing how Tomlin is, right, and not taking any BS or anything, that conversation with Aaron Rodgers already took place months ago. They were he was like, that's why Tomlin didn't say anything about it or talk about it. He and to Aaron Rodgers sat down, and look, Aaron Rodgers is going to respect Tomlin. He ain't going to Pittsburgh and taking $13 million. He's humbled by what happened to him in New York, right? He doesn't want to end his career that way. I just believe that Tomlin and him, or the Pittsburgh organization, particularly led by Tomlin, had a conversation with him months ago that they knew he was going to sign, okay? And they let it just play out. They let Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers, said, hey, you're going to come. but you need to be at OTAs. You can't go to Egypt. You can't do all that. And that's the deal. That's my feeling. Byron?
Me personally, I went ahead and tried to get Kirk, Cousins, and just not deal with him because of some of the the baggage. And Mike Tomlin's been a great coach for a long time. And my nephew brought this up. Why would he want to stay someplace where he's been kind of average for a while, and 9-8, 9-8, 9-8, 9-8, where he would leave Pittsburgh, sit out a year, and go somewhere else.
Who?
Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Because this is a lot. Okay, so you get Aaron Rodgers, you go 9-8, you're gonna have all the Pittsburgh people still gonna be mad because that's 9-8, make the playoffs, and they're still gonna be upset. And then he's gonna ride off. He's gonna ride off into the sunset, and then you're gonna be in the same boat again because you're gonna have to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Then what?
Okay, so let me answer that. I'm going to you, Joe. Number one, look, this is not a long-term situation, but Kirk Cousins, I disagree with you. Totally disagree with you on that one, right? I wouldn't get Kirk Cousins because why would I pick up a $40 million contract when I can get an Aaron Rodgers who has won way more playoff games for 1/3 that price? I mean, Pittsburgh's making smart financial decisions for the last 2 years at the quarterback position, actually for several years because they've had lousy quarterbacks. But last year, I mean, they were $7 million for two quarterbacks that both of them are starting on two different teams. Why not get the Aaron Rodgers for $13 million? You got DJ Metcalf and make a run. I think Pittsburgh is looking for is a win in the playoffs, right? To them, that would be a successful season. They don't just make it and then get out right away. If they get one win, it's a successful season. If they get 2 wins in the playoffs, it's a super successful season, right? And Aaron Rodgers has got to play big time against the big time competition in his division. He cannot rely. And look, he threw 28 touchdowns last year. That's coming off an Achilles heel injury, which usually takes at least 2 years to come back from, Byron. Achilles is the worst. Right, so 28 touchdowns with I forgot how many interceptions. I mean, he actually played pretty decent. I think he threw for 4,000 yards.
How old is he?
He's 41, and Kirk Cousins is 36.
Okay.
So how long are you gonna have Kirk Cousins for? And why pay? He's not the long-term solution. Kirk Cousins. I disagree with you with taking Kirk Cousins. Aaron Rodgers is what it is. So I'm just saying that Kirk Cousins saying, if I had to take two, I think Pittsburgh make the right move with a $13 million move versus $41 million with a guy who's won one playoff game. One. I wouldn't want to risk when I have been losing playoff games for the last 17 years with a quarterback that cost me 3 times the amount, and he's only won one game, right? That's just my opinion, and that's why I disagree with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins hasn't done anything. You've said it yourself. He's won one playoff game.
But how many Super Bowls has the great Aaron Rodgers won?
One.
Okay.
Okay. And but he's made it to how many NFC championships? He's made it to 2 Super Bowls, right?
But how many has he won? That's the ultimate goal.
He's won one, right? He's been an MVP. And with all due respect to Russell Wilson, they went 10-7 last year. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback.
Yes.
Okay. And that defense slacked last year.
Okay.
TJ Watt's got to get paid. I'd keep him, but he did not play well towards the end of the year. That defense did not play well towards the end of the year. So they better gear up that defense because really, I was just expecting just play decent football. They're going to win. You won with lousy quarterbacks with your defense. Joe, go ahead. I'm just taking too long.
Wait a minute. One more thing, real quick. Who's he going to throw to? And I'm going to just leave it at that.
DJ Metcalf, right?
They need to get someone else.
Yeah, they need another receiver. I think they're making.
And they will. They'll get.
And they got money. They got cap. They got space. Yeah. Getting Rodgers for $13 million. I mean, what other quarterback is starting right now that's making $13 million?
Russell Wilson making $10 million. That's it.
Oh, Russell Wilson. Okay.
He's really making 3 because the 10 of it is a signing bonus. So he's making like 3.6 for the year.
10 million is still going out of your pocket. All right, well, he's making 3, whatever the deal is. Okay, Russell Wilson is making $10 million. Okay. But I wouldn't. Go ahead, Joe. What are your thoughts on what we just were talking
You're
about?
absolutely right about Kirk Cousins. I think, unfortunately, he was not an option because of that contract, because of the money. You'd have to pay him like $40 million this year or whatever the number is. It's just, if they released him, then I think he would have been an option. But yeah, this is all just a temporary thing. I mean, Aaron Rodgers just signed a 1-year deal, so he's gone after this year anyway. But it's all
He
gearing
might not be
toward.
gone after this year. He may
You
sign a
never
1-year
know. If
deal.
he has a really good year, we'll see. Maybe he'll
He
stick
has a
around.
really good
Yeah.
year, and then he may end his career in Green Bay or something, or in Pittsburgh. Say, okay, we're going to stock up a little bit more, give you 1 more year, see what happens.
Yeah, but this is all gearing toward next year. The NFL draft is in Pittsburgh next year, and the Steelers, they dropped the ball with their court. They're in this situation because they drafted Kenny Pickett a few years ago, and that was a disaster. So they need to get their quarterback of the future, and they're going to get it next year. So it's all about next year. So this year is just
how do you see that happening now? I mean, because if okay, think about what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
What do you want? Okay, you got to decide. Tomlin's biggest Achilles heels is that he doesn't win, so doesn't lose, or hasn't had a losing season, and he doesn't put himself in a position to get a draft a quarterback. Okay, right. So number one, so they got to trade up, give away, they got to do something. Next year's quarterback is going to be a good quarterback draft.
Right.
There's good quarterbacks coming out more than we had this year, right?
A whole bunch of them.
Okay, a whole bunch of them coming out. So number one. Number two, the whole point of getting Aaron Rodgers that we just agreed upon, a success would be winning 1 playoff game.
Right.
So the assumption is you're in the playoffs. That means you should have a winning record, right? Most of the time, right? 2, success season, you win a playoff game. Now you have a winning record. That's going to change in the lottery, please, right? So how do you expect them? How do you see that playing out of them trying to draft a quarterback? Like, you think they're trading up? What is it they're going to give up for?
You're absolutely right. If they have a successful season and they make the playoffs and they win a game or two, they're probably going to draft somewhere between like 20, 25, something like that. And you're not going to get one of the top quarterbacks at that position, but you're going to have to trade up. Now, they did stockpile a bunch of picks for next year in the comp picks. So they have those, but they will have no problem trading multiple first-round picks to move up. This is just as much as this is a play for the organization, it is a play for PR, because the draft is in Pittsburgh, and it would be perfect to get your quarterback of the future in your hometown, and when the draft is right there in the town.
Well, hey, that would be great. I'm just concerned. Like right now, I just looked up. You guys only have $18 million in cap space, and TJ Watt's going to eat most of that up.
When they for some reason, when they renegotiate a contract, it actually creates the space in the first year or something like that. But yeah, they're going to re-sign TJ Watt, and then it's going to be.
I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate. The objective of Aaron Rodgers is to have a great, to win at least a playoff game, right? And if that happens, you're going to mean you have. And if they went 10-7 with Russell Wilson, there's no reason why we should think they would do less, if not better.
They could win 11 or 12 with Aaron Rodgers, yeah,
right? Because he can hit that, but he can throw. I mean, he was on. I mean, who did the Jets have?
Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, and that's
came
it.
later, and the other kid Wilson is good. So Devontae came later, and then Aaron Rodgers started lighting it up, but Devontae wasn't really doing much there. So again, look, we'll see what happens. I always like the comebacks, right? I always like the comeback. So I think Aaron Rodgers come back. I'm glad Russell Wilson looked pretty good last year, and they weren't talking bad about him. And now he is with the Giants, and he's actually out there. He's in the community, right? Byron, he's doing a lot of stuff for the community. Russell Wilson, and he's also working with Jackson Dart. So interesting. Leading into that, Jackson Dart, I brought this up before. All right. So anything else going on with Pittsburgh? What is the sentiment, grassroots sentiment on Tomlin staying, leaving, whatever?
Tomlin will stay for at least the next couple years, because that's what his contract is runs until. After that, who knows? And at some point, you can't go forever in this situation. At some point, you got to at least win a playoff game or something like that. So, who knows what's going to happen in a couple of years? But for at least the next couple of years, Tomlin will be the coach.
Oh, look, Tomlin's only 53 years old, man.
I didn't realize he's what?
And he's been coaching for 17 years or something like that.
Years old, dude.
Wow.
53 years old. He's young. What I'd like to see with Mike, no offense to Pittsburgh, but I think you guys are okay with it. I would like to see an Andy Reid move where, he's done everything he could with Philly, this and that, goes to a team. Granted, Reid inherited, look what happened. He got a quarterback. Right, he inherited. He ended up getting lucky and getting Patrick Mahomes and changed the game. Donovan McNabb did well for Andy Reid as well. But remember when we were all happy for Andy Reid winning? Now everybody hates the Chiefs for being
everybody hates.
Everybody was real happy the first year they won. Now they're all in all the time. Now they're the villain, right? So all right. Well, anyhow, are they still, because I know you guys were still pretty upset with Tomlin and just not winning. Where are you guys at with him there?
Still upset because especially the way the season ended. At one point they were 10-3 last year and Russell Wilson was balling. He was looking great and they lost 5 in a row.
Pickens was out for the first couple, like 2 or 3.
Well, that's a problem. They didn't have any other wide receivers.
Took everything out.
Exactly. And they had that really tough schedule, but then they ended up in the playoffs and they went against the Baltimore Ravens, their hated rival, and the Ravens ran him over. Like he ran him over like when Saquon Barkley plays the Giants. Just
Saquon
total domination.
I didn't cue that up, Byron.
Killing me.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. All right, speaking of that, though, here's the funny part. Cam Jordan wants the Saints to trade for Winston. Now, that's interesting. Winston played for the Saints before. And what do you think is stirring that up? You think it's who's the quarterback for the Saints right now, Byron?
Well, we definitely know it's not Derek Carr. Well, yeah, Derek.
No.
Yeah,
Derek, I think it was Derek Carr, but he's hurt. Right?
No, he's retired. He's done.
Oh yeah, that's right. He retired. Right.
Got,
he just retired this year, right?
They got Shane Rattler, I think. One kid. They got who's the other one? Rattler.
That draft pick.
They got
Shuck.
Who?
Tyler Shuck or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Tyler.
He's the older kid. He's like 26.
Rattler,
or
Hunter, and don't they? What's his name? Isn't that dual player also there? Tyson Hill.
I think he's still out because he tore up his knee or whatever.
I think he's done.
Yeah. So, anyways, what do you think about that? I can imagine that that's happening because Winston's seeing the picture that I'm at the Giants. Russell's doing well. They really want Jackson Dart to take. You know what I mean? I could see something. Winston wants to continue playing, right? So that part, the guy does great, and then he does terrible. I mean, I don't know if it's a mental block or he's on a roll and then he thinks nothing can stop. I think mentally something's wrong. And I don't mean mentally like he's got a mental issue. I think you understand what I mean? I think there's a block there. There's like once he's doing well, it's either he gets in his mind he can't do no wrong and he gets cocky, and all of a sudden he makes a lot of mistakes. I mean, throwing 30 touchdowns is impressive. Throwing 30 interceptions is really bad. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, 30 touchdowns.
Well, he blamed he couldn't see. He had LASIK. He had eye surgery.
But it happened to him in Cleveland. Remember when he came back and he won and then he threw those interceptions and he was, I felt bad for the guy because, he's a good Christian and he's like, it's just these turnovers. I got to get a hold of this. And I'm like saying to myself, son, this is how you've played your entire career, though. It's not like you can just flip this script. Like, how many years he's been in the league?
Well, at least almost 10 or close to it.
He's got to be, you know what I mean? And I'm like, so don't take those chances. You know what I mean? But it's got to be something that, like, there's a block with him. Jameis Winston is 31 years old. So he's got to be in the league for at least 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
right?
I think his problem is he has so much talent that he's trying to make a play, and he like most quarterbacks are going to try to squeeze the ball in when they know they shouldn't, and he just makes bad mistakes sometimes. But they also say he's a good teammate. That's probably why they want him to come back down there. But the Giants are not going to trade him until they're absolutely sure that Dart can be the number 2 guy. He ain't going nowhere until they know for sure.
And Winston is big. He's 6'4", 230.
Yeah, big quarterback.
He's way bigger than Wilson. And the only thing I'm saying, I know they want to trade him. I just see what's happening there, right? That they're just making, because the only talk I hear is Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart. Right. So when this came up, I'm like, I could see that happening. But I wouldn't mind playing Winston, just try to squeeze out as many touchdowns as possible, then take him out so he doesn't throw interceptions.
Yeah, don't work like that.
I'm like, let's see if we get the touchdowns first, and then as soon as he throws a few touchdowns, take him out. Put in somebody else. Run the ball. Okay, Russell, come back in. I mean, Jameson, go back in. But I've just felt bad for him. Don't you think? What do you think, Joe? I mean, because he's consistent with touchdowns and interceptions, and his interceptions are not just interceptions. His interceptions are interceptions for scores.
Yeah,
they're not Eli Manning interceptions. Tip balls, this and that. The guy catches it. His are like he's throwing his 30.
It's like he's throwing right to them.
His 30 interceptions were probably 45. 15 of those were interceptions for touchdowns. What do you think about Winston, and what do you think is causing him? I want to address Byron's piece in a little bit.
Well, it's like Byron said. This is all about Jackson Dart, really. If they think Jackson Dart is ready, then there's no point to even have Winston. If you could get anything for him, yeah, trade him. I mean, a quarterback is extremely valuable, no matter who it is. But that would be really interesting if it was Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart, because people, the minute Russell Wilson messes up, they're going to be screaming for Jackson Dart. They want that new shiny toy. Put that rookie in. So that'll be really interesting. As far as Winston, it's just a mystery. He's good and bad, and unfortunately, that's what you get with him. You cannot take away the bad. It's just all good and all bad, and you just got to live with it.
Well, I'm looking at this thing. He's completed like 61% of his passes through his career. He's got 154 touchdowns.
Winston.
154 touchdowns, 111 interceptions. So at least
you notice how did you notice how he slowed down? Time. I'm gonna let you go. Keep going. Keep your thought, Byron. Keep your thought. Joe, did you see how he was all speeding up on those really good stats? And they were 111 interceptions.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, Byron.
I'm done with him. He's got like 25,000 yards passing, man. So he
that doesn't count the yards he threw for interceptions. Listen, he holds the single season record for the most pick sixes thrown. He's thrown a record 7 pick sixes in a single season.
This was before he got the LASIK.
He threw 30 interceptions that year. So the year he threw 30 interceptions, right? 7 of them were pick sixes.
And guess who the coach was that year that he did that in Tampa?
Who?
Guess who? Bruce Arians.
Your boy?
Oh, man. I'm sure he had I bet he was cussing up a storm.
The most pick sixes, 30 interceptions, 2019, and tied for the 7 most interceptions in NFL. He's tied for the 7th most interceptions in NFL history.
Man, look at the guy. Man, he couldn't see, man. That was the problem, man. He got his eyeballs fixed. He's good now.
Listen, I'd be more worried about if I was a quarterback if I couldn't see Micah Parsons coming at me. I'd be more worried about other things I couldn't see instead of not seeing and throwing to the wrong guy. Like, not seeing is worse about getting hit than it is interceptions.
He's a backup quarterback at this point in his life.
Hey, look, and I like the guy. He's a good guy, right? It's just, again, I don't think he's that good. Like you said, he's not a Brett Favre where you're a gunslinger and it works in your favor most of the time. In his case, it doesn't work in his favor, right? Josh Allen makes some bad mistakes. Doesn't make them as at the quantity that Winston does. Is that a fair statement, Joe?
Yeah, you can.
I mean,
You
so
can.
you got
You can do that a
gunslingers
little
out
bit.
there. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could do that a little bit, but not all the time like he does.
And he does them in critical games, right? So look, I wish the kid best of luck and everything. He's a Knoll, Florida State. But and look, I'm glad that he's with the Giants because it's an upgrade of a backup quarterback than we've had, right? Hopefully Jackson Dart pans out. We still got Cutlets, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, so I got that. Got Aaron Rodgers. All right, look at this. What do you think is going on here? This is where we need some of the other goals. Anything else in Pittsburgh, Joe? I don't want to leave you hanging there.
Just the TJ Watt held out a mini camp, but he's going to sign. It was just unlike him to not show up, but he'll sign.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go. Look at this. Ramsey not to 10. Dolphins. Man, he wants out of there. I think there's an issue. Miami. We had Papa Paul on from the WCFL Dolphin, and this is the first time I heard a Dolphin fan not optimistic, right, Byron?
Yeah.
I mean, they went from looking really good a few years ago to just looks like they're being dismantled, like between
Exactly.
and I think it's because of the attitudes that are on that field, on that team, between Tyreek Hill, now Ramsey not wanting to play. I mean, that's a problem. Ramsey's a phenomenal quarterback.
But he's at the back end of his career, man. He's not he was dominant for a long time. And, he's toward the end of his career. He's not the same Ramsey, that he was, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
He might still have something though.
A little bit in the tank, but he's not that guy that he was.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Kind of old for a cornerback.
For a defensive back, it gets a little hard, because no matter, you can play other positions, but when you're running against those $38 million receivers, you know what I mean, lightning speed, and they're only going one way, and they know where the ball's coming. It's not easy being defensive back. As a receiver, you know where the ball's going, right? As a defensive back, you're hoping you know where the ball's going. So, but I just think Dolphins are having there's just too many issues seems to be going on there. I think McDaniels is on his last legs. He went from the wonder kid to, good thing he's cheap because he doesn't spend money. He said he self-proclaimed, I'm cheap. The only thing he bought for himself was one nice watch. That's it. He doesn't really buy much.
Right.
So
nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, hey, save your money. Look at some of these other professional athletes. I'm pretty proud of, Jason Tatum. He made a deal with his mom that he's not the only money he spends is endorsement money. He doesn't spend any of his salary.
Like Gronkowski did. Same thing.
Gronkowski did the same thing, right? Yeah, but Jason Tatum is 300 and something million.
Yeah, it makes a lot more.
It's NBA. That's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're talking about that's a lot of money just to be socking away, earning, even if it's earning 3% compounded interest over 10 years, becomes a lot.
It sounds like you're making a pitch for him.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Where to put your money at? All righty. Let's go. What he's got here. I think I don't really care about the Broncos. What do you think about? Yeah, because I'm not a fan of Peyton. Texas signs Nick Chubb for put a 1-year deal. That's pretty good. I like Chubb. He only got $5 million, but he's up there. He's already up there in age. But we were talking about, Joe, like we talked about several episodes ago, that the running back position is now starting to get paid again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
They're not moving up. Saquon Barkley. They should all be thanking Saquon Barkley.
Jesus.
or number 26 for Byron. Saquon Barkley. So Nick Chubb's a good move for Texans.
It's a good move, and it's really no risk, and it's just the big question is, can he come back from that injury? So we'll see. But
it's a good pickup for that amount of money, and helps out CJ Stroud. I mean, and I like that coach. DeMarco's a great coach, right? And again, I think the Browns just didn't. They had two great running backs, and it just seems like they couldn't do anything with that. I wish we had those two, one of those two guys.
They're the Browns. What do you expect?
The Browns is the Browns.
Yeah. Let's keep going. All right, let's get into some Packers release. Okay. All righty. All right, let's go. Joey, I don't know. Do you watch any of the NBA?
I'm in absolute shock that the Pacers keep winning. I don't know how they're doing it.
Let's get it on, baby.
How is this happening?
I picked them. I am 3-0 in the NBA playoffs, in the NBA finals right now. I picked the Pacers the first game, picked Oklahoma the second game, I picked the Pacers the third game, and everybody that pregame picked except for
what's happening the rest of the way then?
And I'll tell you why I think they're winning. Everybody's running out. Okay, why, Byron? What are your thoughts on the Pacers? And do you tell me some of your thoughts? I'm going to tell you why I think they're winning and why I picked them.
The Indiana Pacers are capable of running a whole bunch of different people at the MVP, SGA, and they're putting a whole lot of different bodies on it. He has to adjust to the different body. He'll have a 6'5" guy, a 7-foot guy on him, and for some reason, and he's getting tired. You can see that he's tired. It's a lot, and it takes a lot. Just dealing with one guy, but when you have 5, 6, 7 different bodies on you, it takes effect, and then. It doesn't help that. How tall is Chet Holmgren? Is he 7 something?
7'3" or something like that. He's
for some reason he doesn't play like a 7'3" guy. He's not. I'm used to back in the day. You played you back to the basket, whatever. But for some reason he just doesn't play like he's 7'4", and be that guy in the middle. But Pacers, they're taking it to him, and if they keep playing, the way they are,
he's 7'1", yeah. But he when you say he doesn't play like a 7'1", what do you mean? Because what do you mean by that? Because I'll tell you how they see it. Like he's got tremendous skills for a 7'1" player. I mean, he goes coast to coast. He can dribble. He can get his own rebound. He takes it. He splits. I mean, the kid's good.
Yeah, but then you have, the Indiana Pacers are getting a lot of putbacks. They're getting a lot of, offensive rebounds, and you have a 7'1" guy in there that's not really playing like a 7'1" guy, as far as doing what he's supposed to be doing, protecting the rim.
Well, he's putting up points. I think I got to look at that a little better. I see it that he's playing well. I think, Joe, where I'm looking at it, Carlisle's a smart coach, right? And exactly what Byron said, what they're doing to SGA is, two of their guards had 5 and 6 fouls apiece. They're beating him up. Carlisle's like, go foul the shit out. I want him hit every single time he has the ball. You understand? So that's number one. Number two, I did this with Santiago the other day. We did a 12:30 show, and when we went to the stat line, they had 11 guys that scored. Okay, 11, and the guy who scored the least was like 5 points. But that guy played 8 minutes. The guy who played the least amount of minutes of the 8 guys, he played 8. That's half a quarter. They're rotating so many players, and they're pressing you full court. Those dudes, they're tiring you out. They're wearing you down. And I love watching NBA basketball when they press full court, because you're talking some of the best athletes in the world putting pressure full court. Byron, we don't see that a lot. I used to love, I didn't like the Bulls back then because I was a big Knicks fan, but I was still impressed when the Bulls were beating up on you and decided to press you. I mean, that's kind of impressive. They're like, I'm going to lock you down. Now we're going to really kill you. And you had Jordan and Pippen pressing you the full game. So why Indiana, I believe, is doing a great job of winning the game is, one, their bench players are contributing. They had one bench guy, I think, put up 25 points.
Yep.
All right? Halliburton's got to score above 20. He's like 8-1 in the playoffs, 33 and like 4 when he scores above 20. He's also got like a record for he's 12 for 14 in the last 2 minutes of the game in the playoffs. So My reasoning with Indiana, it's all been it's just they just have youth and they're playing the game that they've done to everybody. They wear you out. And remember, they were a lower seed than the Knicks. They're just wearing you down. And I don't think OKC has that enough yet. So look, OKC, in my opinion, remember, still not over. OKC has to win game 4. They have to win tomorrow. If they don't win tomorrow, it's over.
Done.
If they win tomorrow, then and their record is tremendous after a loss. So is Indiana's. So right now, if they win OKC, it's 2-2. Then Indiana wins, it's 3-2, right? And then if Oklahoma wins, it's 3-3, and then Indiana. So both of the teams' records are incredible after a loss. So technically, it's the advantage is to Indiana. Yet Vegas still has Oklahoma winning the NBA chip.
We'll see.
Joe, any comments on that? That's really the deal. I just think it's they're playing so many players. They're throwing at you too many players. You can't stop them.
First of all, shout out to TJ McConnell from Pittsburgh, killing it in these playoffs.
Oh yeah.
The Pacers are. There comes times when teams go on magical runs, and the Pacers have been doing this all throughout the playoffs. Last second buzzer beaters. That shot that they had against the Knicks. Being down by like 14 with 2 minutes left against the Knicks and coming back and winning. They're on a magical run right now. It's just everything is working. But if they could pull this off, this is going to be one of the greatest upsets in NBA Finals history. The Oklahoma City was way favored to win this. This is like one of the biggest favorites ever. So this would be amazing if the Pacers could pull this off.
Okay, look at some of these numbers I was telling you. Okay. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They played 10 players. Okay. The Thomas Bryant is the only one who played for 3 minutes, which is nothing. The next lowest minutes was 15 minutes. So look at 9 players. I'm going to go from the lowest to the highest. 9 players, 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 22 minutes, 28 minutes, 33 minutes, 36 minutes, 30 minutes, 22 minutes, 32 minutes. I mean, think about it. That's a lot of minutes for a lot of guys.
Yep.
Right? And there's a couple things, Byron. You play, right? What does it do? You're ready. That means you know that he's going to go deep in his bench. You better be ready. That means you're practicing, you're shooting, you're doing everything you need to do. Right? Because you know you're going to get in, and he's not going to take you right out. He's not putting you in for a second give somebody a rest. He had 9 out of the 10 players that played. 9 out of the 10, the lowest was 15 minutes. That's a lot of time for a guy, the 9th guy on your team. Byron, you know that, right?
Yeah, but if you're gonna, if you're the 9th guy, whatever, you're gonna be in for 15 minutes. You're gonna play hard. Those whole 15 minutes, you're going to go. It's going to, and that's what they're doing. They're just beating them with numbers, and they need to adjust. And I don't know how they're going to adjust because they're just coming at them in a wave. And the NBA MVP is trying to figure it out.
And look, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had 8 players that had minutes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They had 8 players for OKC that played 10. The lowest was 10, and then it went 10, 18, and up. But they also didn't have. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 players scoring in double digits, and then the Pacers had 1, 2, 3 in double digits, but they had a lot of guys scoring 10, 4, 8, 8. 9, 7. They just, you know what I mean? It's just too much coming at you, right? But again, then they look terrible in the game too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's a good player. I just think he needs to make sure he's focused on scoring early. And I like that whole team. I mean, what's his name? there's that little white guy on his team, man. That dude is like a pest. He's stealing the ball in inbound plays. He's doing everything. By the way, Nate Smith is another great player. Siakam is killing it. Tyrese Halliburton is great. What is it, Nembrand? I think it's Nembrand. I got the right team. Yeah, Nembrand. They're just hustling. They're just out hustling those teams. I mean, that's how I look at it. All righty, and let's about wrap this up. Any predictions for the game 4 of the Thunders Pacers?
Pacers. Let's go.
You're not going to be different. Thunder.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Pacers win. I just know the record of the Thunders coming off a loss is incredible. They're like 30-something and 3 or something like that. And so is the Pacers. That's what I'm saying right now. Like I said, if we continue going, every other team winning every other game, the Pacers are going to win because they won game 1. Right? So someone has to lose 2 games in a row. And I think both of those teams are tough. So if it goes 1-1 to game 7, I think it's in the Pacers. Right? So I'm going to go with I think OKC will win Friday. Because I think it's a must win. Gildress he's an incredible player. He's deserving of being an MVP. He's definitely deserving of being an MVP. Joey, we lost you, Joey. Oh, Joey left. Is he coming back or he just lost his thing? Let's see if Joey comes back for a couple minutes so he can talk about his show. Byron, what else is going on, man?
Nothing. Just the usual. Now, like I said before, the tackle football starting with these kids, so that should be like the highlight of my day out there, making my brains out 3 days a week. So yeah, it's cool.
That was my favorite. Hold on, let's see. I think Joey's trying to come back. As soon as he comes back, I want him to mention the show. But let me tell you these final. Okay, here Joey's back. All right, Joey, we got back. We lost you for a second. Hey, Joey, tell our people how we can get a hold of you and your show. When is it? Donut Bag, and tell us a little bit about that.
Donut Bag podcast, Mondays at 7, talking Steelers, lots to talk about. I'm on Twitter, Joey Bag of Donuts, V7 of an F.
Okay, awesome. And you guys talk a lot Pittsburgh Steelers. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Joey, thanks as always. We love having you on your show. Thanks for filling in when I need to fill in because my traveling's been crazy lately. But I'm getting excited for the ramp up of the season. I can't believe how fast the season goes and comes.
Right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. So I'm getting excited for that, and let's see if we can get some, the big blue back going and the yellow. At least we're in different conferences, but I still think the Rooney should make fun of the Maris a lot more.
I would.
Oh my God, I'd roast them at the table. All righty. All right. Don't forget, we are live every Thursday. What time, Byron? 8 p.m. 8 p.m. live. You can please don't forget to subscribe to the Sportscast on all your social media channels. Go to your favorite streaming or podcast streaming service. Look up the Jersey Boy Sportscast. Leave some comments. You can leave comments after the show. We'll get back to you. We're always welcoming people to our show as well. Please be ready to talk some good football. We're excited to have you, Joey. It's always a pleasure, Mr. Jones. Always a pleasure. Hope the family. Tell everybody said hi to family. It's nice and hot there, huh?
It's hot.
How's it in Pittsburgh?
Same, hot.
It's hot. All right. Well, it's hot over here too. So, but it's usually hot. Yeah. But I was in Jersey. For Memorial Weekend. It was freaking cold.
Oh, 60 is not cold, man. Stop.
It wasn't beach weather.
Oh, excuse me.
I had to have a hoodie on. I had a hoodie on. So that was cold. All right, gentlemen. Until we see each other again, thank you. Signing out, Jersey Boy Sportscast. Take care, buddy. Talk to you soon, Byron. Bye.
Yep.